What's up, guys? So, with this, I ended up switching out that Oko. Um, I couldn't tune it, man. I couldn't get it right. Every time I'd get it right, next day it would feel like it was way off. So, out with the old. Um, I might end up selling this on MA. Um, I have an entire jet kit with it as well. With the idle jets and main jets. I have everything for it. I don't know, maybe I'll keep it and save it for a future build when I actually want to take the time to tune it. Um, it's whatever. But I ended up getting the Mikuni VM24 flat slide, the foam filter. So much easier to tune. I got it super rich and then worked my way down till it wasn't rich on the top end anymore, four stroking on the top end. It was a little bit warm on that day, so it's cooling off a little bit. I think maybe it might be just perfect now. But yeah, it was super easy to tune. It was good all the way through the throttle. There wasn't any hesitation like I was having with the Oko. It was kind of like it was rich lean whenever you'd be going through like 3/8 to half the full throttle. I couldn't get it to be super smooth. It was funky. But it really didn't quiet it down anything with the foam filter like I was hoping it would. I think it's really just with this pipe, it being a thin sheet metal. It's just super tingy. So what I think I might end up doing is wrapping this exhaust just to try to dampen it a little bit, quiet it down. Just in the little bit of time that I was tuning this, my neighbors weren't the happiest people on the planet, but it is what it is. I'm not being obnoxious about it or anything like that. So yeah, that's it. It seems to be running good. The only thing I gotta really do is just really take it out and rip on it and see what it does. I was trying to remember what I was getting for a high temp. So 406. 406 was my hottest temp. Which, I mean, that isn't ungodly hot, but it is fairly hot. I mean, 500 is seizing. So it should be fine. We'll bring some jets with us whenever we ride, and maybe take it on like a 15-20 mile ride and just see what it does. What I might also end up doing is switching out the clutch. I have this GY6 clutch that just has blue springs in it. I think those are the 1000. I can't remember. But in this right now, I have the 1500 Contra and the 1500 clutch springs. But I think I might swap it out. I just feel like it keeps the Contra keeps the bike at super high RPMs, which, I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. But I feel like that's causing the bike to run a little bit warm. So I'm going to swap it out and see what it does. See if it stays a little bit cooler maybe. And just swap that Contra, or swap out my other clutch here whenever, like for the races and stuff like that. And just run it with the clutch springs, and this is a stock Contra that's inside of here. So maybe just run it with this for a little bit, see if that makes any difference in temperature or anything like that. I've heard of guys having their bikes run cooler when it's a stock Contra compared to when it's like a 1500 to 2000 RPM Contra. Their bikes seem to run cooler with the stock Contras. So I'm gonna run it and see if it makes any difference. We'll see, but it's fast, man. It's so fast. I think it might actually, maybe, possibly be competitive in the variated class. you have a lot of those guys that are just, they mess around with the Mobies, and you know, you can have launch levers and all that fancy shit with those Mobies. So it's a competitive class to be in, and I really don't think that this bike would be that competitive. But I think it could stick up, you know, as far as like speed and acceleration. The brakes are definitely not good enough to handle the acceleration that it has. You know, when you're flying up to a corner and trying to slow down, it can't do it. The drum brakes just really fucking blow. So I might end up trying to do a disc setup. I want to do a disc setup on the Express and also on the Maxi. It's definitely been a learning curve, and I have never done anything like that as far as like disc brakes and stuff like that. So we'll see. I am going to be getting a rigid Maxi frame for my race bike next year. It was a rigid. It's been fresh sandblasted and primed. Doesn't have any of the decals on it or anything, but I got the rims, fork, and frame for $150. Plus, I'm giving them a ported cylinder, which is what I was making those for in the last video. But that's going to be my race bike. I'm going to see. I want to know how much lighter the rigid frame is to a regular Pook frame, like this one. I'm very curious to see. But yeah, so that's what's going on in the garage. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll probably make a vlog on the bike here whenever I do take it out. It might be exciting to see it blow up, you know. I haven't had much luck with taking it on long rides, but it is an entirely new motor. This particular cylinder has been soft seized 2 or 3 times, and I haven't replaced the rings on it. It's still pushing about 120 psi of compression, which is plenty of compression for a 2-stroke. It doesn't seem to be rattling or anything like that, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see if it can handle some long distance. I really want to take this down to Chicago, so I really want it to know that it's 100% when I go down there. Because there's nothing worse than breaking down at a rally and then you're stuck with no bike and you're kind of screwed. So we'll see. I guess the next time I'll talk to you guys is on the bike. Be sleazy.